My latest book, Azreal, the story of Steve James, is a little bit on the spicy side. How you doing? I'm Frank, and now that I have your attention, let me tell you more about Azreal, the story of Steve James. Azreal, the story of Steve James, is about a guy named Steve James going through depression. He's divorced, living in a very small apartment in Youngstown, Ohio, working 12-hour days at a factory he can't stand, but he also loves to write. Unfortunately, the only thing he's ever written is fan fiction. One day, he meets this beautiful woman, and he tells her about 3 news stories that he's working on. And that first story that he tells her is the one that's a little on the spicy side. You see, if you ever seen the movie Saw, or any of the Saw movies, you know it's basically about a lot of death traps. Well, the first story that Steve tells his girl is about 2 women in a 10 by 10 foot room. One of them's naked, the other one's not. They both have ropes around their necks, and there's a key in the center. Their hands are handcuffed behind their backs. And there's also a toy involved. Now, I'm not going to go any further. You can probably use your imagination. And remember, the whole book is a horror thriller novel. So, one of these girls is gonna die, and in the other stories that have nothing to do with spiciness, somebody dies in those stories too. And all these stories have a connection to his life. It's really 3 or 4 different stories all in one book. Anyway, Azreal, the story of Steve James, is available on Amazon.com on paperback, ebook, and hardcover. I'll also have these books available at my next Comic-Con, which is Fan Expo Cleveland. Hopefully I'll see you in Cleveland at my next Comic-Con, where I can tell you more about Azreal, the story of Steve James.